Hello viewers, I'm Louis, and today I'm going to introduce you this no-nonsense SLR camera, which is, as you might can see, Canon FTb. Canon FTb was introduced back in 1971 alongside with the professional grade Canon F1. And Canon FTb was positioned just below the Canon F1, and despite it's on the lower tier of the F1, Canon FTb is absolutely have no slack of quality. This is absolutely heavy, it's very solid, very well made, and absolutely reliable. And this is the lens cap. Let's take it out. And here you go. And this Canon FTb is paired with its original lens kit, which is the Canon FD lens 50mm f1.4, and its chrome nose, as you might can see. There you go, that's chrome nose, which means this is the earlier FD lens. And this FD lens also the earlier version of the Canon FD lens, which is called bridge lock. So to undo the lens, first you rotate this silver ring counterclockwise, like so, and then you pull it out. There you go. Meanwhile, on the new FD lens, you simply just do like any other bayonet, just to put it right back, and you rotate it without you have to rotate this silver ring thing. Yeah, this is just how, for some reason, Canon believe that you need to do this bridge lock thing to make it more secure. Although it's proven already that ordinary bayonet mount is already very secure, like in the Nikon F mount. And anyway, let's just begin our tour, which is from the front, I guess. And as I said, this lens goes with its original lens, the Canon FD 50mm f1.4. And in here, this is quite unusual because this lever operates so many things, so many features. And first of all, if you push this towards the lens barrel, as you can see, that activates the aperture, the depth of field preview right there. And this is more prevalent if you're using the older Canon FL lens, which you have to stop down manually before you meter. Although in FD lens, this is fully automatic aperture. So when you cock the shutter, and the lens will stop down automatically just right when you're actually taking a photo, like this. There you go. Meanwhile, if you rotate to the other direction, here, yeah, you're winding the self-timer. Yeah, it's approximately 10 seconds there. And then this tiny lever in here, in this first state, is just your normal operation. And for this, the next step, this is to lock the depth of field preview, like that. And for the third position, this is to lock up the mirror. So let me show you. And you'll see the magic. Here you go. So you might wondering what is exactly the purpose of locking up the mirror like this? Well, first of all, some of the lenses, especially the fisheye lenses, might breaching into the mirror box because it intrudes so long, and you might have to do this. And secondly, if you lock up the mirror like this, you can use this, for instance, when you're going to take a very long exposure, very long time exposure, like astrophotography, something like that, when the exposure is like more than 2 seconds, even 1 minute or an hour. And the reason you want to do that is because when you lock up the mirror, it will reduce or even eliminate the camera shake. And the sound is quite different as well. See? It's quite different. Let's hear it when it's in the normal position. It's quite different. And this is when the mirror is locked up. See? It's quite different. And I can assure that this does work. This does work very well. Just on the left of the multi-purpose lever thing in here, this is QL, and this kind of QL thing is also appear on some of the other Canon models at the time. And what is exactly QL? Well, QL stands for quick loading or quick load according to Canon. Basically a genius way to load the film, and I'm going to show you just after this. And then on this side, on the left, the lens barrel in here, and this is the PC port to connect your flash, strobe flash, and this is automatically set for the X synchro or xenon, which is basically a modern electronic flash. And then on the top in here, yeah, this is the hot shoe connection in there. And also we have those tiny two connections as well, and those are for the proprietary Canon flash, which is very rare to find one. And in here, this is the rewind crank, your normal rewind crank, red, and if you pull it fully, yeah, you open the film back. In here, it's the battery lead. It's for the light meter, and thankfully the light meter in this camera still works very well. And despite I used 1.5 volt batteries like LR44 instead of the supposedly the more appropriate 1.35 volt batteries like the P675, the hearing aid batteries, or even the original MR9 or PX625, I think the light meter still works pretty well. It doesn't really matter regarding the voltage. The camera can work around the voltage differences. I think it still works very well, and I'm quite amazed with that. And speaking of a battery, in here there are three three modes. Oh, sorry, I mean three positions of the light meter. The center is off, and the top is on. And if you put to down, it's spring loaded, and it's for the checking the battery level. And in Canon, for some reason it's a bit complicated, and it's shown in here in a tiny sticker to show you how to check the battery. And this is a bit complicated, so first of all, you have to set the ASA in here to 100. Yeah, I already did it. And then set it to one of the 1000 second shutter speed. And only then you push the battery check me lever in here. When the needle inside the viewfinder shows right on the battery check sign, which is around 1/4 from the bottom of the viewfinder, and that means your battery is fine. Although in here, sadly, despite it has a normal voltage, the needle doesn't go to that mark. It's a bit dot, but it's fine. The light meter itself is fine. It's just the battery check that doesn't work very well for some reason. If you can see this tiny mark there, and there's where the film plane locates. So this is more this is helpful if you're shooting micro photography and you exactly want to know where exactly the film plane sits inside the camera. And in here, it's just your ordinary shutter speed dial. Very solid, very nice feeling. And in here, this is the shutter release. There, and surrounding the shutter release it's the lock for the shutter release. And in this position, it's in A, which means advanced. So your normal, and in here in the L position means locked. And this is quite useful if you don't want to accidentally press the shutter release accidentally while it's in the back, or when you're doing the very long exposure. It's quite useful. And in here, just your ordinary film advance lever. It's very smooth. Yeah, there you go. Oh, I almost forgot that Canon FTb was produced between 1971 until 1976, and there are two versions of Canon FTb. And the first version, which I have in here, have the multifunction lever like this, while in the second version, which affectionately called FTBN, have a slimmer multifunction button that is basically nicked from Canon F1. Its sibling, older sibling. And if I'm honest, I prefer this design because it's simply more beautiful and it's easier to operate because it's bigger. And let's check out the film chamber by opening this. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, in here it's quite normal. This is the focal plane shutter type rubberized cloth shutter curtain. See you again. There you go. And in here, this is the more unusual thing on the back, and this is the QL system, which is designed exclusively by Canon back then, and this system is genius. If I'm honest, this is one of the best things that Canon has ever produced. So in here, you can see the diagram how you use it. So in here, I have a film. In here, I have a film. So to load the film, you simply I already put the rewind. Put it inside. Put it down. And you pull the leader into this mark in here, the red mark in here, to there, and then you simply put it, the lid back here like that, and you're basically almost done. Just make 3 blank exposures. And here you go. Your first frame is ready. This is brilliant. This is genius. I don't know why Canon didn't continue to use the QL system again on the subsequent models, like on the Canon F1 or the Canon AE1. This is so convenient. And I believe this system was also present in the Canon Net. Yeah, I remember it uses the QL design as well, but I'm not sure about the rest of the subsequent Canon models after the FTb until late 80s, when the EOS models uses the automated version of QL, I suppose. But in 1970s, this is simply groundbreaking. I absolutely adore this feature, and I wonder why other companies didn't even copy this concept. This is so brilliant. And meanwhile, for the light meter, this uses CDS cell TTL full aperture, so you can meter with a full open aperture, and inside there's the match needle system, and I think the match needle system is one of the best light meter system for the manual SLR, which is very fun to use and very easy to figure out. It's very quick as well, really convenient, absolutely just that easy to use, really enjoyable. And to me, because Canon FTb is such a very simple to use camera, and also very reliable and absolutely no nonsense camera, this is pretty much my go-to camera when I was going out, especially to the other parts of my country, like to Bali, to Lombok, to Yogyakarta, something like that, because it's just absolutely reliable. And also because the design is absolutely understated, simply nobody didn't really care for it. That's the part that why I love this camera. Oh, and before I go, I just want to let you know that this camera is very special to me, not only because this camera is very reliable, very easy to use, and also have been accompanying me to other islands in this country, but also because this is the early batch of Canon FTb. So I looked inside the film chamber. Yeah, I opened that. Film is still in there. in here. So I found the manufacturing code inside here using flashlight, and the date showed that this FTb was manufactured in June 1971. Meanwhile, Canon FTb was introduced in Japan in March 1971. So this is one of the very first Canon FTb produced back then. Just I'm really surprised by that, because I didn't know that this one is the early batch of the Canon FTb in production that still works, and it looks stunning. See, just very minimal scratch, almost no dents, even on the bottom side, still very clean mostly, and even the light meter still works very well. I cannot believe it. Even I compared the light meter reading to my Canon EOS 75D, and the difference is very minor. It's just around 1/3 of a stops the reading. I'm so surprised by that. And also this body and also the lens are the original pair. And you might think that, well, yeah, that's not strange enough, or it's just not surprising. Well, you have to remember that because the lens is interchangeable, so it's at least 90% times when you buy this kind of camera that has interchangeable lenses, it's guaranteed that the lens that comes with it are not original with the body. Meanwhile, in here I already saw the manufacturer code inside the viewfinder, and also in here I found the code in here. Yeah, maybe it's not so visible, but they are exactly same code, which basically they are the pair. And I absolutely didn't believe it. This is still the original kit lens it came from, and it's at least 50 years mind you, and still works very well. Absolutely have no problems with it at all, and that's why this Canon FTb is my workhorse. Prior when I'm getting the Nikon F, yeah, this one, yeah, I really love this Canon FTb. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoy my video, don't forget to like and subscribe my channel. Bye bye.